You've all seen them. You've probably all been on one of them. Nearly every church has some form of it. The missionary map. You all know what it looks like. There's the pushpin with the specific location of the missionary, the piece of string that wanders off to the missionary prayer card. And there's the same thing, the faces, the children's birthdays, the anniversary, and of course the missionary agency logo. And as you go to another church, you know what you find? The same map, same pieces of string, same pushpins. But what's different is what's on the prayer card. A different set of faces, a different set of names, a different set of birthdays, and a different missionary agency logo. But what if we could take all the maps, all the pushpins, all the strings, and combine them together? What if we could combine missionaries, mission agencies, and local churches? Because at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, the good news of Jesus Christ. What if through this process we begin to know which missionaries are in each region? What if through this process we could host a fellowship for an entire country? That's going to take a lot of work, and it's probably going to take the efforts of many missionary agencies coming together. But what about this? What if we could host an entire fellowship for an entire continent? And you begin to think, wow, that's an overwhelming task, and you're right. It's going to take many people pitching in. What if through this process we begin to encourage one another through fellowship, prayer, inviting each other to different seminars, and maybe even helping one another through financial burdens? Or perhaps maybe through this process we know which missionaries are in each region and be more focused in our missionary approach. What if through this process we have missionaries from different boards get to know one another and encourage one another through prayer? Arch Network is already working with 3 groups of missionaries and church planners in the Filipino Islands. We are already working with several groups that don't even work together yet in the Indonesian islands. Join us as we work with Georgia, Mongolia, Spain, South Africa, Ireland, Portugal, Brazil, and Argentina. Perhaps from the summit we could begin to have a like-minded gospel effort in 194 different countries, all within the next 10 years. Here's a real-life example. David and David. David Willis and David Martinez. They are working together to plant a church in Hondarribia, Spain. David Willis spent many of his early years at the Wilds in North Carolina. David Martinez is a graduate from UCLA down in Monterrey, Mexico. The church plant is going well, and they are beginning to outgrow their space. Another storefront has opened up, and David believe their church could afford the additional rent in 2 years. But right now, it would really help their ministry to have the new location. They need a total of $8,500. As Baptist World missionaries, Baptist World may not have the $8,500, but say 64 mission agencies came together. They could each give $133. $133. And this money could be raised before next Sunday. Now, 64 mission agencies have a missionary they know in the Basque region. Word can go out to other missionaries from other missionary agencies in the Basque region and begin to come together and help David and David. People from the wilds now can pray for what's going on in the Basque region. People from UCLA down in Monterrey can give towards this project. And you see how many strings that have now been isolated are coming together to work together to see a church plant started. This all sounds so exciting because working together, we do become stronger. So what's holding you back? Perhaps you've been burned before, and that's understandable. Or perhaps you have a hard time supporting something you can't physically put your hands on. And that's why here at Arch, we have a 6-phase vetting process, as well as our like-mindedness document. We have discovered that in many missionary agencies, in their founding documents, there is a call to work together with other like-minded missionary agencies. And here at Arch, we want to be a catalyst to fulfill the original intent of your missionary agency. What if our individual strings began to become like knots? And see, this is where the what if gets personal. What if it begins with you? What if it begins here at this summit? What if it begins at your agency? None of us are guaranteed tomorrow, so we only have today. And what if God is impressing on you to work together interdependently with other like-minded agencies? Because we all have the same goal. We all desire to share the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. But what if we could work together? Just think of what could be accomplished. What if?